Hi there, it's Rob, and this is the final video in the image training course and how to do your images. And this is simply just my step-by-step example, okay? Now, even though I've just explained it to you here in how I do my methods, I'm going to run through some of it again. So I choose the site I'm going to work on. Let's say I'm going to do some marketing for Power Tools and Amazon website, okay? So I then go to find free images, and again, that's all covered up in here to find image finding, image source. But I'd probably start at these ones: Pixabay, Pexels, and Unsplash, those three, and Google Images too. Oh, and Flickr. So there we go. Between those four, so there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's not even dawdle. And I'd go and I'd search through and I'd download anywhere up to 50, depending on how much of an area I want to cover in this. So I found ones that I've downloaded probably a very long time ago, 2013. Okay, and so it's under Power Tool Images. And I would have them all in there. Okay, so now what I need to do next is I would then edit as necessary. Means my first thing is to make them all a full width page or more. So I'd work to this size. Oh no, sorry, 1920. So I'd literally take them all one by one. Let's ignore that one. It's a bit of a weird one. I'll start with this one, and I'd start with opening with Microsoft Office. This is what I do first. So I go straight to Edit Pictures. I then go straight to Resize, and I squish it from 4:9 down. I want to start with the nearest I can to 1.9, or if you look here, it's busy squishing. And that's 2423 1965 is okay, and I'll save it as that, right? So I literally then call this file save as. It's going to hopefully save in the same folder. It does, and I start with the word web. It's what I do. It's a shortcut. It's easy. And in fact, I'm in this tool now already. So all I do is I give it a second. I click this image twice, and it's going to take me to the next image. And I'll go straight to Edit Pictures. I go to Resize. I go to Grit button, and I go back down to the 2000 what 1916 is okay. Again, I seldom stress too much about it being exact, okay? And then save story file, save as, and I would then call it web. Now, I'm not going to do them all, because that would just be wasting your time while I run through all of these. So what happens now is I've got, if you look here, just watch the properties on this, 29 megabits, MBs, 3,9. So it's already reduced just by cropping it, 28 down to 3. So I then, inside of here, I just do new folder. Where's the new folder? Excuse me. Oh, home. New folder. My bad. Okay, so resized. I have that folder, and then I literally just take these ones that are done and I'll copy them across to there. Okay, I hope they went there. Let's have a look. There should be 2 images in there. Oh really? And I'll copy them across to there. Okay, so now all of them are done, and now I've got my first level finished. Okay, so now what I do is, this is the schleppy part. Okay, you can do this in a specific order you prefer, because you need to resize them in compression and in width and height, okay? So I highly recommend that you do create your 1920 by your 1510 and your 225 versions, okay? So those are the basics that you need, and in my case, I always go to Photoshop for that, okay? So I would open it up in Photoshop, and recreate those images in the correct dimensions that I need that work for my website. Okay, now in this case, in fact, let me do that. In this case, by the way, you could, sorry about that, Photoshop was open all along. I thought I closed it. I just minimized it. So I don't need this image anymore. Let me bring these over. Sorry, I have to just clean up my mess from earlier. Okay, so I've got that guy. I'm going to put them both up here. Actually, one is enough. So I've now got, by the way, so at this point I'm using Photoshop. You can, if you don't have Photoshop, I would suggest you use GIMP. But you can use Canva. So Canva or GIMP is your alternate to this one. Okay, so I'd now go to File, I'd do New. Remember, I wanted now a real fixed exact size, which is written on this thing. So I need one that is 1920 width. So now here's my 1920, but this is only about 866, which happens to be too little. So I do 1920 and I make it, I'm not even scared, I make it 3000. And I say not scared because I'm bringing an image across that I don't know its proportions. So for now, I'm just going to drag this out the way, and then I'm going to drag the image back in here. So if you look, I wasn't far out, by the way. So I just need it to fit. I obviously don't need to worry too much about, I'll try not to make him look funny, but as long as he's within the borders of that thing, I do click OK, apply, and I've now got a correctly sized image. I can, if I want to, crop it because it seems to be bleeding, but it's okay. If I'm really worried, I can do layer, merge visible, and bingo, we've got. And incidentally, while I'm in here, I'd go to image, I'd do auto tone, and I'd do image, and I'd do auto contrast. I'd eyeball it to see that it's going okay, and then my image is done. Okay, so now I've got a full page image that's perfect for that. Now in the future, this will be a final image. I can always come back and crop it if I want to use this in a different, a 1/3 page, quarter page. This now will become my core image for this guy. Okay. Anyway, now do the rest. I then also then do File, New. I'd go to the full size, which is the 510. Sorry, not full size. I'd do another one, which is 510. Right? That's half page. Standard size. Oh, I hate it when this thing doesn't like me for that. Fine. I'll do 510, but again, it looks like it's about whatever, 3 times the size, but I'll do it at 1.8 to fit it. I click create, and now I've got a far too big one. I'll take this other original image that I scratched off here earlier. I'll bring it across to here, and I'll basically crop it until I've got it to the 510 width that works. Okay, so I have no idea. I'm not going to worry too much to waste your time. I'd click apply. I then click crop and get rid of all of this extra mileage that I don't need. In fact, I probably don't need so much of him either, because this is half page. Now, normally, to be honest, I go 510 square, because I have some kind of a OCD issue with keeping things in straight lines on my page. But in truth, you do. I mean, this, if it's a single image on a post, it doesn't matter if it's square. So don't panic about that comment of mine. So same story now. Auto tone, auto contrast, layer, merge visible, and then I then take this and I do. You can do save as. It worked earlier, remember? It made it nice and small. Save as. And now, so this is, it doesn't matter, just call it tool 510. Okay, I don't know the other size. I could look it up on my Photoshop. So I'm just going to do 510 wide. Save it as JPEG. Oh, it's going to put it on my desktop, which isn't where that thing is saved. It's fine. Okay, now I don't want to go max. I want to go maybe medium, even low. Click OK. It should be okay. So that one's saved, and I would do the same for this one. So do file, save as, do tools, full page, JPEG, save. And again, medium, it should still be there. Click OK. Oh, that went too small. That's fine. Let's go and look and see. So now you've got an eyeball situation. You've got to go and look to see what it looks like, because these are important. They're obviously going to be on your website. They must impress people, right? So there's my 510 in reality. That's perfectly all right. It'll be fine on my website. Anybody zooming it is going to get me reaching through the full page one. Let's have a look. Okay, now I'm not seeing it in a full page situation, so in truth I should kind of go to about here, and even that looks okay. And so that would be my job done with that. Happy enough with that. I would then take this, remember I've got this folder created, and I would do it until I've got all of them redone. And then on this page, believe it or not, what I'll do is I'll add a new folder, and I'll do doesn't matter. Okay, you can call it what you like, and then I'll bring these two now that are even further resized into there, and I open that level. So the reason I do it this way is that when I come back to here in my folder, I know that in here I've got my basics, the ones that I downloaded, so I can go and crop this one. Let's open it big. I can go and crop it right down to here. What the hell happened? Whoa. I can crop it right. Look at that. Fine. But anyway, it and then I know that this here means whatever I've done, fixed it there, and this is further because now it's starting to show the widths. Okay, now hover over this, and it's 56 kbs, which is fine, and this is 260, which is bad. Okay, so at this point, so let's just go back to my graphic. So what I've done is I've got the images, and when I say edit is necessary, lol or lol, so I've done the width resizing like that. I've cropped it, I've fixed it, right? But it still needs to be squished. Compressed is the right word. So the first way I would do this is I would either, there's two ways, and I'll do both. I go to TinyPNG as first choice. So I'd log into TinyPNG. By the way, it only takes 20 at a time. Yeah, up to 20 images, and they mustn't be bigger than 5 MBs. And then I'll drop them into here. And I'll wait. 57 became 39. That's fine. 266 should become about 120. Well, that's bad. Okay, so exactly. So now what's happening is it's not cooperating like I wanted to. So, and by the way, I'm not going to save it. I'd normally download and save. I'm not going to bother this time. So I go back to it. I right-click it. And I open with, I'm trying to get it under 100. That's really where I'm going. So where's the open with button? Bad, naughty file. Let me bring it over here. Maybe it's because there's two of them together. Open with, and I go to the Microsoft Office, Microsoft Picture Manager that I always call it. I click auto correct in case, it doesn't matter. I don't need to crop it. Remember, this is the size I want, but I go to compress picture, and it goes from 260, and I hit documents, and it goes to 83. And that's okay now. Be very, very careful. This now has lost power. So I call it tools for, I often just do something like small. You can work out a coding system that works for you. And I would do all of them from there. And I don't know where it's saved. my bad, here, small, it's resaved here. So once I've done the big ones are then the new version. So every one of them would either have a duplicate or new. So I would again do another new folder, and I'd, let's say, call this one final, with less spelling mistakes. Actually, I don't even care about that. So this I would do copy here, because I need to keep one of the originals, and this one is move here. And I now get into my final folder that I can use on my website. And what I do now is I now redo it with keywords. So I take each one individually. Normally, by the way, I cheat and I just copy them all in one shot. That's pure laziness. Don't do that. So I rename them, and I do this by whatever it was. I'm going to say it's 510, but it wasn't 510. Remember, I'm supposed to have saved it, and this will be so the tool keyword, oh wow, my bad. And I'll then copy this portion of it, because that's the keyword I want, and that would be done. I'll then right click it again, I'd go to properties, and I'd do the meta tagging. So I'd go to details, title, and it'll be the tool keyword that I wanted. The subject will be tool keyword explained. In other words, a proper little bit of a subtitle. I'd give myself 5 stars. I know I always deserve it. In here I'd put in 10 tool keywords related to that keyword that I want. Oh, incidentally, sorry, I did tell you this, but just in case, at this point I'd leave this here until I need it on the website. I'd only come back in here and choose these and do this schlep each time. So in other words, very often I'd copy this, or I'd drag it onto my desktop, and then I'd copy it. So the original's still in here, unnamed, wrong. But the one on my desktop gets the whole procedure, all of this, comments, tags, a URL in here, a decent description, and I click apply, and I click OK, and I've now got an image that's safe to put onto my website. And that's it. So if you've done all of these other steps that took me up to here, in other words, finding 50 images, cropping them all to the first 3 or 4 sizes, and then squishing them down, compressing them was the word, through this Microsoft Office or tiny PNG, to where you've got to the final folder. Inside of here, they all just sit here, all 200 of them or 100 or whatever you've got, until I need them. And then I come and fetch them out of here, drag them across to my desktop, and do the title, meta tags, keyword. I then take it onto my website, which I haven't kept it open, but I did show you earlier. And in WordPress, when I upload the image, I make sure that I change the alternate description, and I add a description to there before I publish it, so that way it's done 100 times. At that point, by the way, it also doesn't hurt to take this image that was on your desktop, not this version, the one that's correctly done, and put it into everywhere else if you need to. So you then take it into Canva or wherever and add a link or something to say, so let's say this, what is he doing here? Okay, so it doesn't matter. Let's just say that the keyword is building home workbenches. So I'd take it to Canva and actually put a title up here, like a banner that says 5, whatever the page is about, workbench tips, home workbench ideas, and that 2 or 3 versions of it, and then those would go into Pinterest and to Instagram, and at that rate, and then you share those links, by the way, through social media, through Twitter. Google sees those image links, they all get sent back to your page. Google indexes your page, and your SEO is, what's the right word I'm looking for, golden. You will be set to have done perfect images fairly easily, even though it's taken me 19 minutes to tell you. When you do it the hard way, do I need any of this? I don't think so. Any of that? I don't think so. So when you do the original 50 images, I get it, you're looking at 4 or 5 hours of work. So in my case, remember, the original was Boston Terrier. So I've downloaded 50 Boston Terrier images. I've gone and run them through bringing them all down to about 1.9. Then I've taken them into Photoshop and saved them as 1.9, in other words, full page, half page, quarter page, right? I've then compressed them all through, firstly saving them through Photoshop in the smaller size, and then running them through the Microsoft image tool or tiny PNG, and then saving all of that in the third file, which was final. And those, then there's your 4 hours work. It's a lot of work. And at that point, you've now got images on demand that are ready for you to go in and choose, pick up with, work with. And at that point, yes, you are doing the meta titles, meta tags, putting them onto your website, and then taking the same images via Canva and making banners for Photoshop, for Facebook, for Instagram, and for Pinterest. To publishing those images there, and then taking the published links and sharing those on Twitter. And pow, your page is going to come alive, and it's kind of great. Good. 21 minutes to show you my shortcut. It's probably all you needed for the whole page. Job done, guys. Take care. Cheers.